in a long, fairly complex tail, at the end of which is a series of tail fibers. During the attachment process, the virions first attach to the cells by means of the tail fibers. The ends of the fibers interact specifically with the core polysaccharides that are part of the outer layer of the gram-negative cell. These tail fibers then retract, and the core of the tail makes contact with the cell wall of the bacterium. The action of lysosome, like enzyme, results in the formation of a small hole. The tail shell contracts, and the DNA of the virus passes into the cell through a hole in the tip of the tail, the majority of the coat protein remaining outside. Virus restriction and modification by the host. Multicellular animals can often deal with the element and eliminate invading viruses by a variety of immune defenses mechanisms before the infection becomes widespread, or sometimes before the virus has penetrated target cells. We will discuss such mechanisms in Chapter 21 and 22. Prokaryotes lack these defenses, while the extremely thick cell walls of fungi and plants also offer some protection. The relatively thinner cell walls of prokaryotes often offer much cell protection. Prokaryotes do, however, also develop resistance to viruses. We have already seen that one form of host resistance to virus infection arises when there is no receptor site on the cell surface to which the virus can attach. Another and more specific kind of host resistance occurs in prokaryotes and involves destruction of the double-stranded DNA genome of the virus after it has been injected. This destruction is brought about by host enzymes that cleave the viral DNA at one or several places, thus preventing its replication. This phenomenon is called restriction and is part of the general host mechanisms. Prevent the invasion of foreign nucleic acid. The enzymes that destroy the DNA are called restrictive endonucleases, or more commonly, restriction enzymes. Restriction enzymes are highly specific, attacking only certain sequences, generally 4 or 6 base pairs. For each a system to be effective, the host must have a mechanism for protecting its own DNA. This is accomplished by specific modification of its DNA at the site where the restriction enzymes act. Modification of host DNA is brought about by methylation of purine or pyrimidine bases in such a way that their base pairing properties are not altered. DNA is usually modified at a specific base is on each strand. During semi-conservative replication, there will be a period in which only template strand will be modified. The typical restriction modified enzyme system recognizes this DNA as needing further modification, not as DNA that should be restricted. Restriction enzymes are specific for double-stranded DNA, and bacteriophages containing double-stranded DNA are fairly widespread. Consequently, restriction enzymes are also widely distributed in prokaryotes. We will discuss the great practical uses of restriction enzymes in genetic engineering later, in section 10.12 and chapter 31. Some viruses can overcome host restriction mechanism by modification of their nucleic acids so they are no longer subject to enzymatic attack. 2 kinds of chemical modifications of viral DNA have been recognized: glucosylation and methylation. For instance, the T-even bacteriophages T2, T4, and T6 have their DNA glucosylated to varying degrees, and their glucosylation prevents a greater reduces endonuclease attack. Many other viral nucleic acids have been found to be modified by methylation, but glucosylation has been found in the T-even bacteriophages. It should be emphasized that modification of viral nucleic acids can occur after replication has occurred. Other viruses, such as the bacteriophages T3 and T7, avoid restriction by encoding proteins that inhibit the host restriction system. Some hosts have multiple restriction and methylation systems that help in preventing infection by viruses that can circumvent only one of them. However, not all restriction systems recognize unmodified DNA. Host restriction systems are also known that restrict only modified DNA. Clearly, the host containing the enzyme does not contain the modification enzyme. However, this host is protected from infection by a virus that was modified during reproduction in its previous host strain. Hosts also contain other DNA methylases in addition to those involved in protecting the host from its own restriction enzymes. Some of these methylases may be involved in DNA repair or even regulation, but others may offer protection to the host DNA. This is because some viruses themselves encode restriction themselves. Virus multiplication production and viral nucleic acid and protein. New copies of the viral genome must be replicated and virus-specific proteins must be synthesized in order for virus multiplication to occur. Typically, the production of at least some viral proteins begins very early after the viral genome has been taken up by the cell. Uncoded if required, the production of these proteins requires virus-specific messenger RNA. For certain types of RNA viruses, the genome itself can serve as an mRNA. In the case of some viruses, however, the mRNA must first be synthesized. Many viruses have double-stranded DNA genomes, like those of the host cell, and we have discussed the essential features of producing mRNA from double-stranded DNA. However, a great many viruses have other types of genomes, and these include not only a single-stranded DNA, but both single and double-stranded RNA. Furthermore, we have mentioned that some viruses have one type of nucleic acid in the virion, but use another as replicative intermediate. All these unusual genomes present problems in understanding virus multiplication because they involve information transfers such as RNA to RNA and RNA to DNA that host enzymes do not perform. Viral replication schemes. The virologist David Baltimore, one of the winners of the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1975, for the discovery of retrovirus and reverse transcriptase, developed a class significant scheme for viruses that is based primarily on the relationship of viral genome to its mRNA. In the Baltimore classification, double-stranded DNA viruses are class I. The production of mRNA from such viruses can occur as it would from the host genome. Although different viruses use different strategies to ensure that viral mRNA is made in preference to host mRNA, class II viruses are single-stranded DNA viruses. Before mRNA can be produced from such viruses, a complementary DNA strand must be synthesized, since RNA polymerase uses double-strand DNA. These viruses have a double-stranded DNA intermediate during replication, and it is this intermediate that is used for transcription. The synthesis of the dsDNA intermediate and subsequent transcription can be carried out by cellular enzymes, although viral proteins must also be involved. The situation is much different with viruses with RNA genomes, class 3 and class 5. Before discussing these later in more detail, some nomenclature related to nucleic acid strand orientation is needed. Remember that mRNA is complementary to the strand of DNA that was used as template, and that the mRNA can be translated to yield protein. By convention, mRNA is said to be in the plus configuration. Its complement is said to be in the minus configuration. This non-collateral nomenclature can be used to discuss the orientation of a single-stranded virus. RNA or DNA, but is primarily used for RNA viruses. A virus that has a single-stranded RNA genome with the same orientation as mRNA is said to be a positive-strand RNA virus. A virus whose single-stranded RNA genome is complementary to its mRNA is said to be a negative-strand RNA virus. Note, positive and negative are not absolute terms, but are used only relative to the mRNA of the virus. In addition, consider that cellular RNA polymerases do not generally catalyze the formation of RNA from an RNA template, but instead require a DNA template. Therefore, RNA viruses require a specific RNA-dependent RNA polymerase. Let us consider this requirement in the light of the strandedness of RNA virus genomes. The simplest case is a positive-strand RNA virus, in which the single incoming viral RNA strand is a plus strand and hence serves as direct as mRNA. In addition to the other required proteins, this mRNA encodes a virus-specific RNA polymerase. This polymerase first makes complementary minus strands and then uses them to templates to make more plus strands. For negative-strand RNA viruses, class V, whose virion contains only the minus strand, or double-stranded RNA virus, class 3, the situation is more complicated. In neither case can the incoming RNA serve as the mRNA, and therefore mRNA must be synthesized first. However, as mentioned earlier, cells do not typically have an RNA polymerase capable of this. To circumvent this problem, these viruses contain some of the enzyme in their virions, and it is injected into the cell along with the genomic RNA. Therefore, in these cases, the complementary plus strand is synthesized by this RNA-dependent RNA polymerase and used as message. Retroviruses. Casual agents of certain kinds of cancers and acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, AIDS, are RNA viruses that replicate through the DNA intermediate. The process of copying the information found in RNA into DNA is called reverse transcriptase, and thus these viruses require an enzyme called reverse transcriptase. Telomerase is a type of reverse transcriptase, although the incoming RNA of retrovirus is a plus strand. It is not used as a message, and therefore these viruses must carry reverse transcriptase in their virions after infection. The virion RNA is copied to double-stranded DNA through an ssDNA intermediate, and the dsDNA then serves as the template for mRNA synthesis. Thus, ssRNA and ssDNA, dsDNA, another class of viruses, are viruses that have double-stranded DNA in their virions but replicate through an RNA intermediate, and therefore also use reverse transcriptase. The strategy these viruses use to produce mRNA is, however, the same as that class 1 virus. While